What makes you mad?
Makes me mad. People's phones go off. We're in beautiful Eagle, Idaho. That are not on silent. Could we be more distracting?
Everyone beat it.
All right, we've all turned ours off. I thought mine was off. I had no idea.
No, I'm kidding.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Where are we today?
Eagle, Idaho. We're at Abmont Realty's office.
What was your first job?
Well, dating back to when? When I was 12, I had a paper route. I had a paper route for years. And then when I was 16, I worked at Carvel Ice Cream. I served ice cream. That was probably one of my very first jobs. That was a lot of fun.
What was your favorite job?
My favorite job? Well, running my own business was my favorite job. I started something that I didn't really know what I was doing, and I got to make it up as I went. And then the things that I made up became standard operating procedure, and decades later, people were doing things that I had done without really knowing what I was doing. So that was a lot of fun.
Chris, tell me, how did you get into real estate?
The business I had run for all those years, I sold. And when I moved out to Idaho, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, if I was going to just stay retired or go get a job or be a greeter at Walmart. And my son one day said, I want to get into real estate. And I said, well, I have a friend that does real estate. We can jump on board with him. And that's how I ended up in real estate. I'm here because of Joe and because of my son, Jack.
What's the perk to working with your son?
Well, you know, what's funny is I worked with my mom. First 2 years I started the business, she was my office manager. So I got to work with my mom, which was pretty cool. She would bring me like meals, which was great. I'd be in my office and she'd bring me food. And then one day my mom said, I don't want to drive 45 minutes to work anymore, Christopher. I need to find somebody to take over my position. And I said, fine, find somebody. And she hired the woman that would become my wife. So I've worked with my mom, I've worked with my wife, and now I get to work with my son. So it's pretty cool.
Family is business.
Yeah.
Business is family. Let's see. What is something important in real estate you didn't know before being an agent?
How emotionally connected you get with people, how much you become involved in their lives and making critical decisions that affect them for many years to come, and how big a part of this, kind of symbiotic relationship that we all get involved in really means to people. It's kind of cool.
Do you have a favorite part about real estate?
Closing. I say that half joking, but every transaction, I've had maybe one really no sweat transaction. All the rest have been, there's ups and downs, and there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes that most people don't realize in a real estate transaction that has to get done. And so when it is closed, it's a sense of accomplishment, but also a sense of relief. Yeah.
Do you have any pets?
Do I have any pets? No. Does my wife have pets? Yes. My wife has always had pets. I used to joke in our old house, she had an animal in every room. Whatever room you go in, there's a different animal.
How do you relieve stress?
I golf. I play golf. Yeah. Beating a ball with a stick is a very good stress reliever.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
The biggest pet peeve? Padres fans. No. My biggest pet peeve. I don't really have one. I know it sounds dumb, but I just kind of take people for who they are. I have a pretty good sense of how people are wired, and I don't really have a pet peeve. Although I do have one. I literally have to wipe the counters down after she.
Don't touch his computer screen.
And don't touch my computer screen.
That's your pet peeve.
That's true.
Don't touch his computer screen.
Do you prefer city or country living?
I've lived both. I actually grew up in a little town that there were cattle, and so I was very used to that. But then living in LA was a lot of fun too. Being a teenager and an adolescent and a 20-something in LA was a phenomenal opportunity for me. I saw bands and went to things that would never have been possible if I wasn't living in the city. So the answer to that question is both. I actually lived in New York in Brooklyn Heights for a little while. That was kind of cool too. That was big city.
What is your favorite sport?
To play or to watch?
Give me both.
Okay, well, I've been a big skier my whole life. Skied since the time I was old enough to walk, and so I'm very capable skier. I'll ski anything, anytime, anywhere. You name it, I'll ski it. My favorite sport to watch is baseball, and I've coached a lot of baseball. I've coached a lot of sports, but baseball is probably my favorite because I know the game within the game. And if you know the game within the game, and you really know what you're watching, there's a lot of depth to baseball that people just don't get.
Where can we find you at on social media? What platforms do you use?
Facebook, Instagram. I'm a little bit on TikTok, barely, just a smidge. I do Twitter, X. Yeah, I'm on all of those for sure.
What do you dislike about social media?
It's distracting. Social media can be time waster for sure. You go down the rabbit holes and all of a sudden you find yourself, you've been scrolling for an hour and it's like, where did that time go?
What is your favorite part about living in Boise?
The seasons are great. I love that there's so much beauty here, so much to take in from a nature standpoint. Where I moved from, there was one aspect of it that I liked and I enjoyed, but here there's a lot of different types of aspects, whether it's the seasons or whether it's the water or whether it's the mountains, the hills, all those different things are just, it's amazing to me. It's beautiful.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents, yes. I am the world's greatest coaster flipper. And if you ever want to see what a coaster flip looks like, I'll show you.
We're going to need a tutorial later.
Yep.
Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Don't ever bring up a problem without a solution. I was a young executive working in an office, and I got put into a position probably a little prematurely of authority, and I went in front of a board and I told them we had a problem, and they said, what are you going to do about it? And I said, I don't know. And my mentor said, don't ever bring up a problem without a solution. And it hit me like a lightning bolt, and I think I've carried that with me through the rest of my life.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What advice would you give your younger self other than that?
Luckily, I was young when I got that piece of advice. What would I tell my younger self, or what piece of advice would I give my younger self?
Yeah.
Go for it. That failure is part of life, and yeah, you gotta just go for it. Yeah.
In 10 years, where will you be?
Where will I be? I intend to do real estate for the rest of my life. Whether that's as an agent or as an investor, doesn't matter to me. I think I'll always be doing real estate for the rest of my life. So in 10 years, I'll probably be in the same office doing the same thing I'm doing today.